Abel Aboh, thank you so much for coming onto the Data Strategy Show, Data Leaders Unplugged, and of course, 66 questions. Abel, how are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Sammy. It's been a long time journey trying to get us to talk, but I think
Yes.
I'm loving it. Thank you so much. I hope you had a good Christmas and a good break as well yourself.
Oh gosh, I can't even remember Christmas now. It seems so far away.
Yeah, it's quite a
But
while.
yes, I
Feels
mean,
like
it
that.
was good. It was a good break.
Yeah,
And yourself?
I did actually, apart
Yeah.
from the flu, but January is
Oh
just
no.
really, January's been really crazy,
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
busy
Yes,
and
I don't know where
everything.
it's gone.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
A couple of days from now, that's okay behind us. We're moving to
Exactly.
Feb.
Exactly.
Sooner
Wow.
or later, we'll be talking about Easter holidays and every other thing else that
Yeah,
happened. So yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. Okay, look, Abel, we are gonna start 66 questions. Rapid fire, here we go. Abel, what's your wake up ritual?
Wow. I wake up, look at my phone. Look at my phone. I would say that I'm addicted to it, but
Okay.
just looking at it basically just helped me to catch up what has happened the last 8 hours I was sleeping.
Oh my
Because a lot
goodness.
happens. A lot happens.
Yes.
You'd be surprised. An hour
Yes.
just not looking at your phone, you'd be surprised at stuff. So I do that, and then obviously do my quiet time and all that, and just plan
Yeah.
my day. Yeah.
Yeah, good, good. Oh, what would you say is your biggest strength?
Wow. I think for me, it's just being able to
Mm-hmm.
connect with people, just be myself, connect with people, and
Yeah.
just be supportive where I can. And I think it's really, really important. I want to like to see myself as people person. What that
Mm-hmm.
simply means is not because you have to get along with everyone, but
Yeah,
simply
sure.
make the effort to get along, to get to know people, have new
Correct.
experience as well.
I
Yeah.
absolutely agree with that. Yeah. What's the biggest learning experience you've had?
Wow, I think that's a great question. For me, I think it's all about stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my. If you want to really experience something new,
Mm-hmm.
a few minutes ago, I was in the Holocaust Memorial, day event as well. Just new
Yep.
information, and if you find yourself in new places, you get new information, and
Mm-hmm.
information is power. When you apply information and knowledge, you get loads of wisdom. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
True.
it's something that you got to do, and I try to do that as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Wonderful. Are there any hobbies that you will never give up?
Oh,
That you will
well,
never give up?
Spotify, absolutely. Listening to music and my podcast as well. And
Oh,
Spotify,
fantastic.
I've had Spotify less than £10. Now it's about £16, and I'm addicted to it. I'm a junkie on that basis. I can't
Uh-huh.
give up my Spotify
Yeah.
subscription,
Yeah.
But listening
Yeah.
to music just helps me a lot.
Yeah.
But also just sourcing out information, new information as
Yes.
well. So Wikipedia for me is a great thing. I can click
Mm-hmm.
from one link to another just to build a picture. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that. And there's some questions about music later on, so that'll
No
be good
worries. Bring
to
it
know.
on.
What makes you angry?
Oh, that's a great one. I think for me, what makes me angry is just when people are not really pulling their weight. But
Mm,
at the same time, not pulling their weight because they just don't believe in themselves. They don't believe
yeah.
that they can actually do it. So I'm just a catalyst. Not really make me angry. I try to understand why and then try
Mm-hmm.
to see what I can do to support. Angry is an emotion sometimes that can be quite wasteful, but I try to turn
Yeah.
that into the right thing. Rather than
Yeah.
being angry, I want to understand why and then see what I can do. So less likely, on a good day, on a year, I get angry just few very odd, but also airports as well. Airports make me
Oh.
angry. Security, airport
Yes.
security makes me
Oh,
angry. But
yeah.
sometimes I
Yeah.
don't take it
To
upon the
heart.
people that work
I
there,
know. I
but
know.
airport security get me angry if
Yeah.
you want to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Let's not go there. That's a long diatribe. That would be. Do you have a first memory of life?
I do actually. I do. I do. For me, it's just hanging out with my siblings as well. Growing
Uh-huh.
up,
Yeah.
my journey has been quite incredible.
Yeah.
Not born in the island in terms of the UK, but
Yes.
find myself in the UK. But yeah, just hanging out with my siblings and just catching up and everything as
Yeah.
well. So
And having
that's my
fun and
first memory. Yeah.
yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. What are you most excited about these days?
Wow, I think change. Change.
Mm,
I'm absolutely most excited about change. We're in this place where, 2.1, if you're a data person, I'll say
Mm-hmm.
that we've got this opportunity right now to transform. And
Yep.
it's great that we can start pushing up things like AI, but start pushing up data literacy as well. So change is awesome. Transformation at the
Mm-hmm.
back of that is absolutely, it does excite me. For me, my heart look is pretty much transformation and change. Those things
Yeah.
really excite me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Uh, yeah, just I think just connecting with people.
Mm-hmm.
Almost people saying that, you say the things I wanted to say, but I didn't have a word to say it in a better way. I think for me that's good, because then what I'm trying to do is to give people the tools for them to
Yeah.
articulate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's really, really great.
Great. Is there a cause that is important to you?
Yes. Oh, education.
Ah, yeah.
Education,
Yeah.
I mean, I believe is a great social mobility. It's a great
Yes.
mobilizer. It's a
Yeah.
great gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Education, yeah, it's really important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What makes you smile the most?
Yeah, just seeing people strive, seeing people
Mm-hmm.
win,
Yeah.
seeing people
Yeah.
getting along,
Yeah.
forget
Yeah.
about the hate and all that, just getting
Yes.
along. We're all
Yeah.
different, we're all unique, but we've got so much that we can
To
bring to the
to
table.
I agree, and we can
Absolutely. And the
offer. Yeah.
party is really, really nice if you've got
Yeah.
different people in the party.
Oh,
So
yes. I
yeah, it
agree with
does.
that.
It does
Yeah.
makes me smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Now here's a question. Now this is something about do you have a secret talent that no one else knows about? I mean, obviously after this they will, but
Yeah, well though, I enjoy doing my ironing in terms of my shirts and all
oh
that
yeah,
as
you
well.
do.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
enjoy
goodness.
that. It's
You
therapeutic.
are like me. You are
It's
like me.
therapeutic. I can Uber as well. If you get me a really good, not
Yeah.
just Dyson, but I think what's
Yeah.
it called again? The big one, the red big one as well.
Okay.
I can Uber as well. I do
Hmm.
enjoy it at all. I'm
Oh,
not going to complain.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. I love that because I am such a stickler for having the crease on my shirt. And it was my father who said, you must have a single crease. And, oh, I
Not
won't
just
have it.
that as well. Guess
Yeah.
what? I go into the shop and I got what we call the starch.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
spray it
yeah.
to the clothes
I
as well.
used to use
Absolutely.
starch. I
Absolutely.
used
And
to.
I
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
them in dozens as well and keep them
Yes.
as well. So
I,
if you take my starch, you finish it,
yeah, yeah,
you need
yeah.
to
Yeah.
replace it.
I used
Yeah.
to have bottles of them on the shelf.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. If you weren't doing what you are doing now, what would you be doing?
Footballer.
Yeah.
Growing up, I played football a lot, but I decided to go down the education path. And it's great to see now football actually people can make a lot, for their lives and families as well. But back in the days, it wasn't the case. So people used to say, I got a footballer's leg. There's a guy called JJ Okocha, almost like that. And so, but yeah, I chose to do the education part because I think education is a gateway, and that's what I chose.
And what position did you play?
Sorry, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. What position did
I'm
you
a
play?
striker. I'm a striker. I'm
Ah,
a striker.
fantastic.
Yeah, striker.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what are three things that you can't live without?
Ooh, my music. My music, Spotify, I would say that.
Yep,
Internet,
yep.
internet, and just family, family and friends. Can't live without those three things.
Yeah.
My music is important.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite therapeutic. It's hyper busy life and all that as well. You need something to chill and calm you as well. I
Oh
do
yeah.
have, playlists from Raindrops as well that help me sleep at night when I find
Uh-huh.
myself in
Oh,
strange
everything.
places.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, just those three things for me really does help. Yeah.
Great. What fictional character would you want to be?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I started kind of like getting into the Wakanda thing. I must say the
Yeah, yeah.
Wakanda thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much on the Wakanda side to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a blessing to have to experience that. Growing up with Batman, growing up with
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man,
Mm.
getting the comic books as well, drawing comic, characters, but having Wakanda at the moment, I think Wakanda for me and
That's
Wakanda
great. I
forever.
love that. And I can't
Wakanda
wait.
forever.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see the new one on the 1st of February. I
Yeah,
think it comes onto
it's
Disney. My daughter loves
yeah,
it. We actually sat down and watched it a couple of weeks ago again. So
yeah.
she really does love that. Ooh, what's the last show that you binge watched?
Woo! I just finished what's it called again? FIFA, corruption.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was quite a great one because just seeing those personalities, how far they came to where they came to the limelight, what
Mm-hmm.
happened, just understanding that these are ordinary people that wants to make a difference, but also
Mm-hmm.
sometimes system can change them and
Yes.
transforming as well, and all the politics that happen and the big P, the small P. So yeah, it's I do watch a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
need to watch something, it has to be something I can gain from.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my first principle.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's my
I've
first
still got to
principle.
watch that actually. I'm going through the Stephen Madoff at the moment, so
Yes,
to
I
watching
finished
that.
that, but I mean, obviously, I read the story, but the
Mm,
FIFA one, I've not really fully understood it. But
okay.
also, just what football play and the role football
Yeah.
play in society
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
very
Absolutely.
powerful thing.
Yes,
So
it
yeah,
is.
so that was a good one. I
Yeah.
recommend it for anyone to watch.
We'll definitely watch it now. What's the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
Woof, coming out to the UK. I'll tell you what, I can remember it's ages
Yeah.
ago, ages ago, but coming out to UK, no one, just coming out to UK, just with loads of truck of ambition,
Yeah.
suitcase of ambition.
And tell me, where did you come from?
I'm from Nigeria, so
Nigeria.
yeah, absolutely born and raised in Nigeria, but
Mm-hmm.
came out to the UK to study as a young boy, and it's just been a roller coaster experience,
Yeah.
a massive
Yeah.
experience. So I was born in Nigeria, but made in the UK. So I've got the flag now, yeah,
I say the same thing. I was born in Kenya, but made in the UK.
that's correct. That's my
Yeah.
story. That's my
And are
story.
you from Lagos or?
No, I'm from the Niger Delta part. So the Niger
Yeah.
Delta part is what we call the riverine area where you've got
Yes.
loads of oil. But
Yes.
also,
Is that the southern?
yeah, the southern
Yeah.
part, the southern
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
as well. Lagos is
South, sort
also
of
southern.
southeast, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the south. This Lagos
Yeah.
is the south, but the south part as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No.
just
Yeah.
across the Atlantic and all the rest, the Gulf of Guinea and all the rest of them.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
my great parents would be people that would deal with the Portuguese and
Uh-huh.
people coming through the boat as well, through the ship as well. They would
Mm-hmm.
be the first people to interact with them. They are
Wonderful.
fishermen, so it's quite wild out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's my history, that's my heritage.
Yeah. No. I've been to Nigeria. I've been to Lagos, Abuja. I loved it.
It's a
I
bustling
loved
place.
it. I loved it.
Lagos
Unbelievable.
and
We can
Abuja
have
is
a
really good.
conversation about that later, but yeah, it was
Yeah,
amazing. How would
good.
you define yourself in 3 words?
Trustworthy,
Hmm.
bold, and lovable. And I think
Wonderful.
that, yeah, lovable. I think those are the three things I want to really, as
Hmm.
a brand that wants to ship me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trustworthy, just having enough for people to trust you, because when people trust you, they can work with you and you can do things together. You need to collaborate, and trust is so
Absolutely.
essential.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Lovable, I think for me is necessarily the fact that you've got to keep the hate and get to that point about what
Yeah.
love
Yep.
can heal and transpire as well. And I
Yep.
think for me, those things really shape me a lot, and that's things I really want to carry on in my legacy.
Absolutely agree. Great. Um, what's the biggest surprise you've had this year?
Woo, the biggest surprise.
Mm.
That's a great one. That's a great question. So I just sort of step into a new kind of space at the moment.
Right.
But just seeing how the space work, I think that's
Uh-huh.
a great time. Without going into detail, but just seeing how the space work. But also just seeing the opportunities as well.
Hmm.
Opportunities. Sometimes you're called to lead things, but you do recognize that things might not be fully put together, but your
Hmm.
role is to lead it and shape it. But
Yeah.
I think you just got to take it as an opportunity while you're seeing it as sometimes you can criticize it, but also you can see it as an opportunity and turn it around. So
Mm.
that's my biggest surprise. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Is there anything that is currently inspiring you in the data world right now?
Yeah, I think just, I mean, I'm not going to talk about AI, but technology, but I'm not going to talk about that. But I think data literacy, the foundation,
Mm.
there's a requirement that we need to, from a data perspective, we need to collaborate with other, what are called society's gatekeepers. So
Hmm.
media, televisions, name them, other parts as well, work with them to expand this thing called data, because the data profession is massive.
Hmm.
And we've got young people trying to come in as well, even older people wanting to come. So we've got this opportunity to work with other gatekeepers and
Sure.
shape it so that people
Mm-hmm.
can understand when we talk about data and
Mm-hmm.
data management, people understand that, and that can filter through society.
Yep.
So data literacy is a great thing that excites me, data literacy
Mm-hmm.
and in quote data strategy, maturity, and all those good stuff as well.
Wonderful. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I think for me, just be myself.
Mm-hmm.
Be myself. People said to me, don't try and be no one else,
Yeah.
be myself. And earlier in my career in data, someone said to me, Abel, don't go through technology. Don't, at that point in time, there's a good technology. People want to learn it and do it. He said, no,
Yes.
know the foundation.
Yep.
Know about that thing, the foundation, how to do it.
Absolutely.
And once you know how to do it, it doesn't matter what technology. And those technology at that point in time, IBM was one of the top leaders then.
Mm-hmm.
I think now you've got the
Yeah, I got
Colibras,
loads of
name them,
yeah,
the
yeah.
informaticas, they've
Yeah,
come and
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
And I think it just shows people as well. If you know the foundation, whatever technology, you can apply that as
Yeah,
well. And then deal
absolutely.
with people because people are
Mm.
still unique and they're
Yep.
still focused.
Yep.
They're the central in the world of data. So know
Mm-hmm.
how to relate with people and deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Do you remember the moment your career completely changed?
Yeah, that was over a decade ago.
Yeah.
So I worked for a company called BAE Systems. Joined as HR. So just to let you know, I studied human resource. My first
Okay.
degree is HR. My second degree is HR. I went to Strackline Business School.
Uh-huh.
I worked in HR for a couple of years. But then I was passionate about technology, data, and
Sure.
all that, and see what that can do.
Yeah.
And then I had the opportunity of transformation program to come in
Uh-huh.
and do data management.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose that, and I think it's just been phenomenal. But not staying in data itself, but doing other things in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Mm-hmm.
just your data person, you're just data. You're doing other
Yep.
things in the
You
business.
do.
It could
Yep.
be HR, it could be operations, it could be engineering, it could be other stuff. Find yourself in all the pockets of what I
Yeah.
call domains or functions,
Mm-hmm.
and still use your data capability to support the business. I think
Yep.
that's really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Uh, what makes you feel accomplished?
Whoa, that's a great question. I think for me, accomplishment means different things to different people. For me
Mm-hmm.
personally, just the same people move the dial, just move the dial,
Yeah.
in the right
Yep.
direction. For me,
Yep.
that's it. The
Yep.
dial could move faster, it could move slower, but moving it in the right direction,
Yeah.
that's for me, that's accomplishment. So
Yeah.
I don't try to overcomplicate it as well. But just seeing people progress, growth for me,
I think
it's something
it's
that inspires me and is also accomplishment as well.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's a wonderful thing. What three words describe living in the UK?
Wow, that's a great question. I think for me, living in the UK is
Yep.
opportunity, innovation,
Uh-huh.
and you just have to have, a thick skin as well.
Yep. Yep. That's very true.
So those are the three things.
Yeah.
Opportunity, innovation, and you have to have a thick skin.
Thick
No one is
skin.
going to give you a free lunch. No
Agreed.
one is going to give you a free lunch. You've got to
Agreed.
work your socks off.
Yep.
To
Yep.
to get that lunch and heat it and share with other people
Yep.
and keep the door open.
Yep. Now, over to your Spotify. What's heavily played on your music playlist right now?
Ooh. I can go all the way to Cuba classic to all
Uh-huh.
the way to I've got Afrobeat,
Yep.
there, I've got all sorts. My Spotify, I've got like, to be honest, about 40 play on the list.
Yes.
From
Yep.
jazz, coffee music. I'm just
Yep.
creating at the moment called coffee music. These
Uh-huh.
are music that you go into cafes and all that, and
Yep.
you listen to. So I've got that as well. So yeah, but I
Who's
think
your favorite Afrobeat artist or band?
wow, I think I would say Burna Boy at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Burna Boy, he
Yeah.
is really doing great things at the moment globally as well.
Okay.
Globally, brand is quite
Okay.
strong. I mean, you've
Yep.
got all the Wizkid, the Davido, the Temi, the Asha, they're
Mm-hmm.
all that
Mm-hmm.
Yemi Alades, the Tiwa Savage, there are loads of them. There are loads of
Yeah.
them back in the days as well, the
Mm.
Mohit guys, but they really hone their craft, and now it's quite a global export. And it's
Wonderful.
interesting to see that. Yeah.
I'm gonna look. I'm like you. I have such a wide range of different music. So I will definitely put that on my playlist now.
Yeah.
What three things are at the top of your bucket list?
Ooh, that's a great question. Bucket list. I want to really go into Jerusalem.
Yeah.
I want to go into Jerusalem, speak in the Middle East as well,
Yeah.
get to understand
Yeah.
that. I've vastly traveled in Europe, so I understand the Roman Gothic connection and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the
Mm-hmm.
Scandinavians and all that. And I think it's just about the diversity of this world.
Yeah. Yep.
Africa is somewhere that I need to explore. Though I'm from the continent, I've not really explored it, but I need to
Right.
do that. I want to
Yes.
do cross the North Africa down to the
Mm-hmm.
south as well.
Mm-hmm.
So traveling for me into those key places make a lot of
Yeah.
difference because for me it's about the people.
It is.
It's
Yes.
about the
Yeah.
people, and I think I would like to personally, if I can, and if I've got the opportunity as well, I would like to know what's going on in the royal family. So I would like to also understand and work with the royal family to understand, who they are as a people and
Yes.
everything as well. I would
Yeah.
like to, I do fancy one day, being part of the City of London Corporation.
Sure.
It's a great thing. They managed to keep the city as a whole, in a
Yes.
prosperous place
Yes.
as well. So
Mm-hmm.
the City of London Corporation someday is something I'm passionate about in
Well,
terms
you've just
of
made your pitch.
yeah.
You've just
So
made
yeah,
your pitch for it. There
and
is one thing.
just a plug. My sponsor, someone I really admire, would be the Lord Mayor in 2023. So Professor
Okay.
Mike Nally.
Wonderful.
So
There you
so
go.
yeah, so it's something I really am
Yeah.
passionate about as well. The City of
Fantastic.
London is great. It's a great
Yeah.
place to be.
I was just looking at my bookshelf and I was thinking there's a really good book if you haven't read it yet called The Prisoners of Geography.
I've got that. I've got
You've
that.
got that.
Yeah, I've got
Brilliant
that.
book.
Yeah,
So
great book.
as you talked about people, culture and
Yep.
movements and
Yeah.
understanding regions, I think that's a fantastic book. Okay, well actually here's a question. What book did you most recently finish?
Now, let me say this, and I'm not ashamed of it. I don't finish books.
Okay. Yeah.
The
There's
reason is
nothing
that they're
wrong with
not,
that.
no,
Lots of
absolutely,
people
they're
do that.
not a project to finish.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I do is that I read chapters.
Yes.
I read chapters,
Yeah.
Rachel Boswell book, talking about trust and who can you trust as well. It's a great book as well. You see that some key things. So today people talk about ethics, people talk
Mm-hmm.
about trust, transparency. What
Mm-hmm.
does this really mean? And some of
Yeah.
these things are quite powerful words that
Mm-hmm.
over the years we've not really found time to deconstruct to understand why these words are used in a particular way and what do they really mean. So I think Rachel's book, Who Can You Trust, is a great book.
Okay.
But I read chapters, and when
Yeah.
things happen, like for example, you're talking about the prison of geography as well. When the Ukrainian war started, I had to go in there to read it. And you just need to understand the geopolitical, the dimension, economical, why things are happening the way they
Yeah.
are. Not necessarily giving
Correct.
an excuse, but having that background knowledge help you to
Of
understand what's
course.
going on.
Of course it does. We're going to go back in time. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Wow. I think just to be patient, just to know that the future is brighter.
Mm-hmm.
My 16 years old self at the moment would tell me today that wow, how far I've come
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
one of those boys those days. Back in the days, people necessarily would not give us the opportunity at all, and I say that with all humility as well, and that's the
Yeah.
reason why I always say to young people, you can aspire to inspire as well,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Mm-hmm.
can dream, and you're allowed to dream. So
Yeah. Yeah.
16 years then, people would never say, oh, that one is not going to turn out to be anything else,
Uh-huh.
and then, how many years than now, it's totally different. So,
Yeah.
that's what I would
Yeah.
say to myself. You can really, the future is brighter. Hold on and keep
Good for
doing
you.
what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. If you could switch lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Wow. That's a really great question. That's a really great question. Who, are you talking about now or are you talking about in the past?
Anytime. It doesn't matter. Anytime. I'm not no
Uh,
restrictions.
no restrictions. I think there are great people I do admire. But Gandhi is someone
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
would like to understand
Mm-hmm.
because at that point in time, the transformation, the change he brought in,
Mm-hmm.
and the power of the word as well.
Yep.
Gandhi is someone that I really will understand,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how I would like to be, and just to
And
understand.
he's
Mandela is great, no doubt,
yes.
but Gandhi, is a force
Yeah.
to reckon with.
Yeah. And I know he started most of his sort of political demonstrating or passive demonstrations in South Africa,
Yeah,
which
and
was
I think for
also
me, I don't know why it could be. Lately I've started telling people in data space that Part of how we deliver data management also is to create opportunity within teams where people can obviously participate in activism. What that means is that it could be climate change, it could be environmental, it could be social, it could be governmental, whatever that is. So we need to create spaces for people, our team members, to participate.
Of course.
It could be animals, right, and whatever, and I think when you create that space for people to participate, you then understand what matters to people, and you can
Correct.
tap it as a
What drives
strength
them.
and work with them
Yep.
and drive it, and you guys can deliver right solution for your customers as well.
No, absolutely agree. If you had to change something in the world right now, what would it be?
Well, I think for me, just the fact that the way we talk about migration and all that, I think it just is a misnomer, to be honest. The way we talk about it, the way we talk about illegals and all that and all that and all that. I'll say to people, like I said, born in Nigeria, but made in the UK. And trust me, there are thousands of wonderful that contribute on a daily basis.
Of course, absolutely.
And those stories are not heard, but the other stories are the one that is highlighted and take the front page and all that as well. And I think that we can share in our diversity. That's so much we can do. So I think that immigration thing, these boundaries that have been created based on colonization, whatever historical stuff prior before colonization, we need to have a rethink. And I think we've got a great opportunity with the internet at the moment.
We have.
It's opportunity. So
let's open up the world for everybody.
Let's see it. And let's just make it accessible to other people. We forget there are 40 or 50% or 60% of the world population that is offline.
Yeah.
So they're not connected.
Gosh, yeah.
So we need to bring them
absolutely.
online. They need to bring them online, and I think that's what it's all about. Technology change behaviors, good or bad, but it does.
Yep. So we talked about who you would switch lives with. But if you could, and that was Gandhi, but if you could resurrect one person from history and put them in the world today, would it be Gandhi or would it be somebody else?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say, I don't want to get a bit, biblical, spiritual in that, because I've got my faith and all that.
That's all right.
I think, I would say Martin Luther King, and I'll give you the reason why. Because think about America, what's happened the last 10 years as well. Sometimes you just wonder, and sometimes it's important for people to reflect back. Look at your home. Look at everything. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? But I think Martin Luther King, what he did, what he believed for, is still inspiring people today. And he's a great, gigantic person and personality and every other thing else. So Martin Luther King, and I think it's really important for people to understand that, some of the things we deal with, in the last 40, 50 odd years are still there. And you just wonder why, So Martin Luther King for me,
no, I totally agree with that. And there's so many themes you just brought up there, and within my own interviewing self, I want to delve right into them, but that's for another show. What's the one thing you wish you knew at the age of 19?
Wow. Just to say that, and I'll say this, please don't judge me at all. Just
to
say that, there's still pretty face all over the world.
Yep.
Pretty faces all over the world, and there are good people all over the world.
Yep, agreed.
So don't really paint the world based on your little circumstances.
Yep.
The horizon is quite wider and wider. So that's what I would say to myself, because I think when you fall in love and you never work out, you're like, oh, my life is end, and all that. But there's still pretty and wonderful human beings all over the world as well.
True. So if you weren't living in the UK, where would you be living? Would it be back in Nigeria or somewhere else?
Yeah, I think Africa for me, but obviously I'll see myself going through other part of the world. Honestly, I was lucky to be in Dubai last match. It was also Middle East. We just saw the Qatar World Cup event as well. Spectacular, spectacular. Everything went really well. And the reason is that, people forget I was part of the team that delivered the London 2012 Olympics as well.
I see.
And what that means is that summer 2012, the people of London, some people, not all, didn't give us, they said it's not going to happen. It's going to be chaotic. And people said leaving London for whatever reasons. The summer was so fantastic. It was so successful. Boris was there as well. Shout out to Boris. David Cameron was there as well. And the landscape has changed politically. But we did it. We delivered the Olympics in London. And then just seeing that as well. So I think I will be pretty much a globe trotter, going to different places as well.
Yeah.
Just, experiencing life and culture and people and
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. I think that's,
yeah.
yeah. If you could offer one piece of advice to upcoming data leaders, what would it be?
Wow. Just say your piece. Don't show up. Say your piece. You've got something to say. Say it.
Yeah.
Don't think
Yeah.
about how people will feel about it. Don't think about what the criticism would look like. Don't think about that. Just say it. You've got something to say. And just say, and as a thought leader, as a data leader, you never get it right always, but say
No.
it, because if not, you're not going to get the feedback from other people
Yes.
as well. So
Yeah.
say your piece, don't show up.
Yep.
Because we're in this place right now, and I say that we need to open it wider for other people to contribute as well. So we don't want the
Agreed.
voice to be one specific mainstream
Sure.
or one
Yeah.
line. We need
Yeah.
multiple lines.
You need to have multiple voices in this.
Multiple
Yeah.
lines, and I say that with all due respect as well.
Yep. Yep.
And we can create the party so the party will be rich, because data itself is rich as well. Data can be rich, so let's make the party rich as well. So
Yep.
if you've got a team, if you're thinking about strategy, if you're thinking about doing anything that has to do with data, make sure that there's diversity, make sure that there's reach, make sure that all sorts. Think about it and make it happen.
Agreed.
But make sure that you
Agreed.
give people opportunity to say their piece.
Yep. Yep. Switching tact here. Where was the best vacation you've ever taken?
Wow. I wouldn't necessarily say going back home. Going back home. When I mean going back home, UK to me is home
It's
anyway.
something different though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's
But
totally different.
just hanging out, just going back to chill with my mom.
Yeah.
Just sitting in a lounge, just chilling with her, and she just telling me stories as well. Things that I think I knew about, but I never fully understood it.
Correct.
But at the same time, I've been lucky. I've traveled, at least to not all over the world, but I've traveled, and I just love, Europe for me, it's amazing, it's remarkable. The tapestry of history is remarkable.
Yes.
Middle East is remarkable. The tapestry, Asia is remarkable. At that word, I need to even go and explore as well. North America, the tapestry is remarkable. So So I'm looking to go to those places. So if you want me to come out there, give me a shout, okay? Give me a shout. I'll jump on the plane and come out there.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you're going to have a flood of emails now, aren't you? Requests.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
So what was the best lesson your parents ever taught you?
A good name is better than silver and gold.
Yeah.
A good name is better than silver and gold. Legacy is real, and posterity is something that really, it does happen. It's not myth at all. So a good name is better than silver and gold. So try as much as possible, to protect that name and make sure that, you value it, and then pass it down to generation as well, thoughtfully.
Wonderful. What's your favorite food?
Rice, any rice dish, from biryani to name them. Also, anything that has rice, right? Trust me, I'm good.
Perfect.
I'm good. I can even just do nothing without just the white rice.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you, my daughter just loves white rice. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. In as much as it's hot,
yes,
that's okay.
Yeah. So you talked earlier on when we were talking before we started that you listen to podcasts. So what is your favorite podcast?
I've got loads. I'm just gonna pull up my I'm just gonna pull up my podcast at the moment. I've got loads from the Turing podcast. I found that really interesting, rethinking moments as well. I've got the Mackenzie podcast as well. Race at Work is a great podcast. Social mobility, I'm talking about, Harvard Business Ideals as well is great. Sheffield as well, TED Talks as well. That's also, I can go again and again and again. But those podcasts are really, and I will say to people, I think that's something you can store. Is an artifact that can transcend generation to come. So kudos to you doing this you're doing, because what you're creating is not just for the now, it's for the future. So people can hear our voices and relate with us as well. So it's really remarkable. So
Thank you. Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
My mom. I would say my mom.
Wonderful.
And the reason I say that is because my mom was uneducated. Absolutely. Uneducated based on circumstances.
Yes.
but that never stopped her to inspire us to not just
Mm-hmm.
to say, hey, education is the pathway.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, my dad was a sailor. What that means
Mm-hmm.
is that he travels a lot as
Yeah, a
well.
lot.
And if you
Yeah.
understand the Nigerian story about when the first quantity of oil, commercial quantity was found,
Mm-hmm.
because they grew up in that terrain, so they knew the terrain anyway. So
Sure.
it was easy for them to be in those spaces, working in those
Yes.
sectors.
Yeah.
And when he was not there, obviously my mom was the only one,
Of course.
in
Of
terms of
course she was.
shaping us and all that. So
Yeah.
just seeing
Yeah.
her, see her hard work and all that. So yeah,
Wonderful.
and tell people also I'm an Evelyn son. So my mom is Evelyn, and I
Uh,
say that I'm Evelyn son. And that
yes.
what it
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
is that is our identity. I'm carrying her
Yeah.
identity. So
You
my
are
mom inspires me a lot. Yeah,
beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for that.
please.
Do you still have stuff, things, belongings from your childhood that you keep with you?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I do have pockets of stuff as well. And I was
Yeah.
lucky as well. My dad gave me some of his stuff as well.
Oh,
So I
that's
do.
a nice thing.
I do. So they're
Yeah.
quite sentimental. You go back to
Mm-hmm.
them, and what I do is that I just take photos of them, some of them, and have them. So,
Yeah.
and the great thing with phone now, with the AI built-in phone now, is that it's quite intelligent. It just brings you
Yes.
memories of when you took
It
the photo
does.
and all
You're
that.
right.
So, at the
Yeah.
year going, those memories
Mm-hmm.
can flood in at any point in time as
Yeah.
well in your life. So, I just take photos and store it, and my phone
Yeah.
is it, I
It's the
depend on
thing
my
that
phone to a
drives,
great
it's
extent.
the thing
Yeah,
that drives
absolutely.
our lives, really, isn't
No,
it?
no, no.
You
It
know.
does help me organize my
Yeah.
life to a point. So
Yeah.
I tend to use it, quite intelligently as much as I can. My
Mm-hmm.
notes as well is there, and
Yes.
things like that. So yeah, yeah.
In terms of data then and trends, is there any kind of data trend that you would like to see disappear?
I think just people talking about concepts as
Yeah.
well, not talking
Yeah.
about the doing. You
Yeah.
know, that's why I say to people, I did a talk called Demystifying Data Management. I said the
Mm-hmm.
three things that you just need to know about data management to help people know their data, help them to trust their data, and help them
Yes.
to use their data
Yeah.
confidently.
Correct.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
concept for me, we should just get out of that.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not going to talk about the mesh and the
Oh,
lakes and the
no, 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 no. We
warehouses
don't
and
need
all
to.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Concept for me, I know it's a way to convey, thoughts and applications and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Mm-hmm.
we just need to focus on the
And the
fundamentals.
actual
Things
doing.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
literacy. How can you help someone understand data? What is the data? How can you help them
Mm-hmm.
understand data? How can
Mm-hmm.
they use it? How can they keep it safe, trust it, and use it, know it properly? I think
Mm-hmm.
those are the foundational
Mm.
for me.
Mm. Brilliant. What's a superpower you wish you had?
Wow. I think just getting people to not really do what I say, but being able to influence. I think for me, being able to influence people.
Influence. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you're a data leader, you've got to
Yeah.
influence loads of people. You're going to
Yeah.
go into conversations where people are 20%, they've
Yes.
not really bought into it 80%, but you need to take them to 80 and 100
Agreed.
as well. So
Agreed.
just being able to influence people as a leader, I think that's something, but also being able to deliver through people.
Yep.
Because sometimes you work in places where you don't have the entire budget,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't have the all resource with you. So you've got to negotiate and getting the resource together
Yeah.
and deliver
Yeah.
through people as well. So
Mm-hmm.
influencing is great, but also that would bring leadership as well. So influence and leadership is something I would like to.
Yep. Yep. Looking back on things in your life, is there anything you would have done differently?
That's a great question. Not really though, and I
No.
say the reason I say that is because I think life itself is just a journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
True.
necessarily a destination; it's a
Yep.
journey. So my journey at the moment has been reach and reach as well, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it's gonna get more reach as well.
Mm-hmm.
And me doing this podcast right now is the ability to communicate that to other people that
Sure.
will listen to me that have not seen me before, don't know
Mm-hmm.
about me, and will not
Mm-hmm.
certainly be in my space. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
communicating to them, so I think nothing really. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. Um, is there a movie, film that has made you laugh really hard?
Ah, some of them, some of them, some of them, some of them, some of them. Um, I think with movie for me, like I said, documentary is
Yes, yes.
something I
That's
really,
why I was thinking,
you know,
that question he
but
might kind of be able to answer,
no,
but
but saying that, right? I will
yeah,
tell you this:
yeah.
Grand Design. It's not a movie,
Okay.
but Kevin McLeod putting Grand Design together,
Yeah.
and seeing how people are trying to build something that will
Yes.
be sustainable for
Yeah.
themselves, their family, and their community as well.
Yep. Yep.
And seeing sometimes the mistakes that they make and everything as well, but getting to
Mm-hmm.
that place. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I can watch Grand Design in the beginning, morning,
Yep. Yep.
AM to
Until the night.
PM. I don't know about you, but
I don't watch it. I no, I don't watch
no,
it. I've
seriously, watch. I mean, you
never
might not
seen
really
it.
say, okay, I've got the loads of money to build a house for myself
Yeah.
and all that and
Yeah.
all that. But
Yeah.
just seeing people's story and journey
Yes.
to do things
Yes.
that matter to them. And I think, having a place that a shelter over
Mm-hmm.
roof over your
Mm-hmm.
head, having a
Mm-hmm.
meal,
It's
let's not
important.
take it for granted.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
reason why we need to keep, campaigning and ensuring right now we're in this place, cost of living is a big, big thing.
Mm-hmm.
People are
Mm-hmm.
choosing not to heat their homes or
Yeah.
their meal. They're making
Mm-hmm.
those choices. So we need to
Yeah.
ensure that we change that and give people a roof over their head.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Homelessness is a big, big thing. It's a big
Absolutely.
thing, even in the UK,
Yeah.
across the UK. So yeah.
Yeah. No. I like that. If you could, and I think I know the answer to this one, but if you could teach one subject, either in school, college, or university, what would it be?
Emotional intelligence.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I tell you
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that can unlock
Yes.
whatever profession.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the three things, ethos, pathos, and locus.
Mm-hmm.
Ethos is your acumen,
Yep.
acumen skills. Pathos is about your emotional intelligence.
Yep.
Locus is about your problem solving.
Yeah. Abilities.
You
Yeah.
can't solve
Mm-hmm.
problems, but if you can't connect to people,
Yes.
you're
You
not
can
going to
help them.
deliver that solution as well.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can be good in what you're doing,
Yeah.
skillful,
Yeah.
tactful, but if you
Mm-hmm.
can't connect to people, so emotional intelligence is something that
It's
really, really
hugely important.
is
Hugely important.
hugely important.
It
Able
really
to
is.
strike the right relationship,
Yes.
convey the message, carry the troops together, rally the
Mm-hmm.
troops together to deliver
Yeah.
what you need to deliver, and you can get the skills, you've got the tools to do it, but connecting with the people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a
And I
tough
think
thing.
it's
Yeah.
a tough thing. And for me,
Yeah.
emotional intelligence, data is great, but emotional
Yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah.
And I think you can't deliver data management if you don't have
If
that
you don't
anyway.
have it, no, I agree with you there.
Trust
Yeah,
me.
absolutely. What's a skill you're currently working on mastering?
I think two. One of them is, like I said, delivering through orders.
Yeah.
In the shortest possible time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and because budgets are constraints are always going to be there. You've got small amount of money, you're
Yeah.
delivering through orders. Great.
Yeah.
The other one for me, I think, is just about making richer connections.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because society itself is this construct based on
Yes.
different relationship and ladders as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not visible in your eyes, but it's there and it
Yep.
works. It's like the
Agreed.
spider web. So
Yeah.
being able to work the spider web as well
Mm-hmm.
is something
Mm-hmm.
that I would really, really say I'm working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Identifying what they are and how to navigate them.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
True.
something that
True.
I'm trying to do. I'm putting my energy to do it
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. I think everybody should be doing that as well. What three words best describe your leadership style?
Um, democratic, open,
Mm-hmm.
and inclusive as well.
Good.
Democratic in the sense that it's not authoritative. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't just
Absolutely.
this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it. No, you've got to
Yeah.
listen, engage with people, come to consensus as well.
Of course.
Inclusive is really important.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be inclusive as well. There's
Yeah.
power in that. That's not a myth. That's not just
Yes.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
byword.
Oh
There's
no.
power in
Huge
that.
power. Yeah.
Open, I think, is great because you've got to be open. You've got to be open to new ways of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
new ways of working, new
Mm-hmm.
information,
Mm-hmm.
how to approach things as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What are currently your top three data challenges?
I think that's a great question. One of them is lack of money. People say, "Oh, I want to use data to do this," but they
Yeah.
don't willing to invest,
Yeah.
and you just think that it's like you have to be a magician to make it happen.
Oh gosh,
No,
yeah, I know what you
it's
mean.
not.
Yeah.
That's one, lack of money. The other
Yeah.
one I think is about people,
Yeah.
talent. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
talents out there in the markets are quite out of, they go quite fast as well
Yes,
because,
they do.
there's a
Yeah.
massive need for that as well,
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think the other one also is about the messaging,
Yeah.
communicating what is data is about, what data can do. So the
Mm-hmm.
value
Mm-hmm.
proposition, I
Yeah. Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
the value proposition and why it matters for
Yeah.
the other guy in finance, why it matters
Sure.
for HR,
Yeah.
why it
Yeah.
matters to
Yeah.
operation, why
The
it
value
matters
that it's
to
going to bring them. Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
what that is good. Because someone did ask me a question some time ago. It said to me, Abel, we don't need data to put planes in the air. We've been putting planes and taking
Plays.
people from
Yeah.
one part to Europe and all that. We
Yeah.
don't need data
Yeah.
management to do that. And that
Sure.
was a fair challenge, but I had to
Yes.
tell him why we need data.
Yeah.
Because that proposition you can build when you understand your customers.
Correct.
You can personalize that proposition. You
Yep.
can do a lot. It's not just taking people from one place to the other. It's
Mm-hmm.
about the experience. It's about who
Yes.
the people are, what they want, and when
Yep.
they want it. So
Mm-hmm.
you can do a lot, and having data is one part of that
Yeah. Of
whole
that
pipeline,
experience. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
experience as
Yeah.
well. So I
Yeah.
was able to say why you would need a data management team. But yeah,
Yeah.
but as you know,
Yeah.
most data management team are not fully, in terms of money, fully, this is this amount,
Yes.
call your
Yeah.
numbers and take it and deliver. They're
Yeah.
always going to say, hey, we're trying to cut 10%,
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want
Oh
you to
yeah.
do the same. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So what is something that recently moved you?
I think it's just saying for me personally though, it's in when was that? That was okay. That was part of the Black History Month in October last year,
Mm-hmm.
and just the end of the month, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the keynote speakers for what they call the Scottish Black Talent,
Okay.
and they gave me a they gave me a topic to talk about that Black
Mm-hmm.
talent is not hard to find.
Right. Right.
And I was in this room. It's not my normal stuff, but over like 300-400 people,
Yeah.
Black talent all over from Scotland coming together for that event. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I spoke to about 60, 70 odd or 80 odd people, and the help that they needed as well, and the guidance that they need as well. It
Mm-hmm.
really moved me. It really moved
Yeah.
me because these are people that are highly educated,
Yeah.
quite agile, really wanting to contribute, but not understanding, sometimes finding it difficult to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
really did move me. And I think,
Yeah.
my employer as well and other people, when I talk to people, is that we just need to try and create the pipeline for this sort of people
True.
to come in and,
Absolutely
and
true.
contribute. Because once they come
Absolutely
in,
true.
they will do a great job.
Yeah. 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 That's true. That's true. What's one thing you had to learn the hard way?
Politics.
Yeah. You're always learning that one.
You're
That
always
never
learning that
stops.
one.
That never
Yeah, but
stops.
it never goes away.
It
But I
never
think
goes away.
you just need to
Yeah.
understand the
How to navigate it
how
and
to navigate
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
how to use it, how to navigate it,
Yeah.
how to streamline it, and all the rest of them. So yeah,
Mm,
politics, the
mm.
big, the small,
Yep. Yep.
they do influence our lives as well, just like
Yes.
technology.
Oh,
They play a
yes.
key role.
Absolutely. What's something you notice about someone when you first meet them?
I think for me it's the warmth,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I studied HR, so
Yeah.
organizational behavior, human behavior is something that
Mm-hmm.
we've taught as well. So the warmth,
Yeah.
genuine
Yeah.
people, you will feel it
Mm,
quickly,
mm,
because
mm.
we're quite relational, we're quite
Yeah.
social, being as people. So the warmth as well. So whatever you do, sometimes days can be difficult, no doubt.
Mm,
People
mm.
going through different things,
Of course.
and all
Yeah.
that. But when you're coming to people, just like you're dialing into a room in meeting as well, you can 1 or 2 minutes, guys. I'm not feeling it today. I just want
Yeah.
everyone to know, you
Yeah.
know. So I might
Yeah.
listen today, but I won't contribute much. But just be open,
Sure.
be
Yeah.
transparent. But the warmth
Mm.
as well, it's something that really matters. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely true. So my final question to you, Abel,
Woo!
what what would you like to be remembered for?
Just that guy that came and saw and made a difference, not
Good.
conquer. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
conquering nothing at
No,
all. That just
no.
made a difference. So it's not like I came and saw and conquer. No, that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's that's primitive. I
Yes.
came, I saw, and I made a difference.
Good.
And I think
Wonderful.
that's something. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, Abel.
Same here.
I've
Same
I've
here.
really
Thank you.
enjoyed it. There's so much we could have talked about. But as I said, I think we'll save that for season 3. So Abel
Well,
Aboh, thank you. And I wish you the best of today and the rest of it and a wonderful weekend.
so much. Thank you for having me. Thank
No,
you for
it's a
having
pleasure.
me. And I'm a big fan, and you
Thank
do
you.
influence me and inspire me as well. So thanks for this opportunity. And for
Wonderful.
all the listeners, thank you. And if you've got any feedback for me, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. I'm open there,
Perfect.
Abel Aboh.
Yeah.
And yeah, just reach out to me and let's
Okay.
collaborate and make it happen. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abel.